Live everywhere. Welcome everybody. Chris and Lee, happy Monday, answering all your home loan questions. So if you want to buy a house, make sure to fill up that chat box with every single one of your questions about buying homes. So if your thought is, I want to buy a house this year, I want to buy it before Christmas, you still can, but you have to get the process started, guys. Getting the process started is extremely important if you want to buy a house by the end of the year, because there could be challenges, and challenges aren't always bad. Sometimes it's something simple that we can help you with and make sure you're going down the right path of correction, whether that be credit, income, assets, anything you need to buy a house. So if you're interested in buying a house, fill up that chat box. Ask us every single question or thought on your mind about home buying when it comes to the home loan side. We can even answer some of the real estate stuff. We got a pretty good education when it comes to the realtor's job. Although we do not do the realtor's job. Realtor has to do their job, loan officer has to do their job. So make sure to fill up that chat box about your questions, comments, concerns about buying houses. What's your thought, man? What's going on in your brain?
Just got escrows, the interest rates floated down last week. Right at the end, they floated down like a lot, kind of a lot. And because of that, people qualify for a little bit more these days. Now, when a loan officer says they floated down, way different than when the general public believes it floated down, because those little bits make a big difference to a loan officer. To the normal public, they don't know the difference. They're like, hey, you used to get 7.25 at a 0.25 basis point cost. Now you get it at no cost. They're like, all right, what's that mean? Does my payment change? No. Does it mean the loan works better? No. Does it mean that my loan is now qualified when it wasn't before? No. It means that you pay $400 less to close. And they're like, that's it? Yeah, but that's a big deal to us. So it's not a big deal to most in the world, but it is a big deal to us.
Well, here's the other thing. Everyone, we're going to get to every single one of your questions, so hang in there. Do not leave. We're going to get to them. I see them coming in already. But loan officers are starting to reach out to their clients and telling them, hey, interest rates have had the biggest dip that we've seen in interest rates in the past 2 years in a single day, which is true. But does that mean the interest rates actually went down to benefit you enough to do a refinance? Probably not if you bought a house in the last 2.5 years. Probably not. So you're going to get calls from loan officers all over the country telling you that now's the time to refinance. Okay? Don't be fooled. The Fed has not reduced interest rates yet. The Fed has not gone in there and pulled the lever to drop interest rates. When they start doing that, then we're going to start becoming into an environment where it is time to do a refinance. We are just not there yet. Navy Mom in the house.
What's up, Navy Mom? Great to see you. Fancy the Queen says, a realtor told me that a value crash will come next year and to wait. How true is that? Not true. I don't think so. Fancy the Queen, here's the reality of it. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I can give you a lot of data. It's just like, Fancy, can you guarantee that the sun will come up tomorrow morning? Guarantee it. You can't, because you don't know. We don't know. However, indications show that it probably will. It probably will. Now, here's why I say there's not going to be a value crash. One is this guy right here. He's going to make sure there's no value crash. Because in the event that it does look like the economy is going off the cliff, he'll just step in and drop interest rates like that. Boom. And all of a sudden, there's a new spike. It's like that. It's fast. He can do it in a blink. So he's going to make sure it doesn't happen. Why? Because his job is to make sure the economy doesn't crash, and housing is a big part of the economy. Second part is we are underbuilt. For the population that we have, there's not enough houses. There's just not enough houses. There's a lot of kids, 30 years old, 40 years old, living with mom. Why? Because there's not enough houses. There's not enough houses to make a sustainable market. So even though they're still building houses, they're not building it at the same amount of pace that people 30 years ago were having kids. So there's more people in the United States than there are houses for those people. But the interest rates kind of slow it down. That, big picture, means probably no crash. Probably no crash. Even the Federal Reserve said, hey, listen, we've had a housing shortage before the crash. We had a housing shortage before COVID, And we currently have a housing shortage. We know, the big numbers say we know that that's out there. So if you're looking for that big crash to happen, it's not going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen, Fancy the Queen. Your realtor, I can give you data. I can give you stats. I can give you lots of, I watch these numbers. I actually pull them out here all the time. All the time. Like, for instance, the foreclosure numbers. Let's see if I can find those ones. Oh, I can't find it fast enough.
While you're looking, let me address this, Fancy. Don't forget to ask questions. So when your realtor says, hey, there's going to be a value crash next year, say, why? Give me the specific reasons. Ask questions, guys. Don't just take information.
And Fancy, here's the other thing. Like, if they said, hey, foreclosures are up 300% in the most recent years. They're not lying to you. They're telling you the truth. But here's the chart, okay? And I know it's real. You can't see the numbers, but this is today. That's the foreclosure amount. This is 3 years ago. It was much lower. This is during the financial crash. Okay? So if you take this compared to this, but if they say, hey, foreclosures have gone up 300% in the last 2-3 years, they're not lying. They're telling you the truth. But they're not even at the level they were before the big crash. So they're telling you the truth, but they're not giving you the whole picture. And what I like to do is look at the whole picture. Now, believe me, I want rates to come down. Rates come down, my income goes up. Obviously, we want rates to come down. So, we're kind of pulling for it. But I don't control the economy. I just get to sit back and watch it for the most part.
All right, everyone, hang in there. We're going to get to every single one of your questions. 111-LEN-111. What are the risks of owner financing to the buyer?
As the buyer.
Yeah,
as the buyer.
same thing.
What are the risks of the owner as the buyer? Well, there's a few things. If the owner is selling you a house and he's carrying the paper, what happens if you default? What happens if you, the buyer, just says, you know, I'm not going to pay you anymore. I'm already moved in. This note's already in my name. I know you got a lien on it, but now he's got to know the foreclosure rules. He's got to be able to hire an attorney. There's a lot of things that have to happen in order for him to take that house back. So when he becomes the bank, if he doesn't understand how to hire a sheriff and kick you out, it's a risk because he's got to learn that. And most people, when they do that situation, that's not the line of business they're in. They're trying to get around that stuff and save a little bit of money. Usually not a good idea.
Yeah, Bill Gross still out here making housing unaffordable for most people.
Bill Gross. Yeah, it's not really me. I mean, I appreciate you, Bill, but the interest rates are set by the 10-year. Yeah, the interest rates are set by the 10-year yield, and then there's a yield spread, and that's what the interest rates are, and that's the economy. I just happen to plug into the economy. That's kind of like you saying to the cops, hey, making it tougher for criminals. Well, he's doing his job. I mean, maybe that's true, and maybe as loan officers, us telling you that you don't qualify, maybe that's true.
But Bill Gross is saying we're the reason why houses are affordable. We are the reason.
Well,
so thank you very much, Bill.
It could be us. I mean, it could be us. It could be
Eric Correa, how does buying empty land and build a house work for loan? Is it possible in California?
Okay, so Eric Correa, it is possible in California, but not a lot of areas. And the reason is, what you're talking about is called a one-time construct. And FHA allows it, VA allows it, and there's a weird version of USDA. But FHA allows it, VA allows it. So if you're a veteran, you can do it. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can do it. Now, it's not easy. There's a lot of process that goes on, and it has to pencil out. In California, if you're trying to buy rentals in California, most places won't pencil out. The reason they don't pencil out is because the housing prices are just too high in California. But if you went to Michigan, you might pencil out in Michigan. Indiana, you might pencil out in Indiana. There's some places where the math works and you can get a house. So in most places, like if you tried it in Los Angeles, probably not. Probably not. We'll try it. We'll give it hell. But probably not. If you tried it in Barstow, maybe. Blythe, maybe. Few areas. So can it work in California? Yeah. Metropolitan areas, probably not.
Guys, load up the chat box. We're going to get to every single one of you. Do me a favor. Give us a bunch of hearts every time we're answering your questions. And give us a bunch of shares because We need more viewers in here to fill up that chat box. We're going to be here for an hour, so we need to make sure we're filling the time wisely. Thank you for the hearts, whoever is giving them in. Don
KK,
Kosia.
what's up, KK? What market are you in? Well, Dan, we are physically in Riverside, California. Riverside, so Southern California. We do all 50 states, though. I got more loans going outside of California than I have going in California. That's for sure. Way more loans going outside of California than I've got going in California. So all markets, and we kind of, because we do loans across the country, we got a good feel for most of it. And if we don't, we have a local liaison, a local loan officer. Like if you went to Indiana, I can call somebody in Indiana and find out the down payment assistance programs. Sometimes, rarely, there's a situation where the local loan officer has to be qualified for a local program. That's rare, but there's a few spots. And we usually have somebody we can call up and just say, hey, listen, I want you to handle this deal. I'm going to watch you all the way through, and we make it happen.
KK, how you doing? Hey, guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Don Kosia, owners aren't in the business on foreclosing on homes.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. And that's what I was saying. It's very difficult. If you've never done it before, it sucks. Even if you're the bank, it sucks. It's a system, and banks aren't really worried about times because, like, if it takes them 6 months to a year, they're not going to go bankrupt. The average guy who's carrying his own paper, that carry cost will kill him. So it's not usually a good idea. Usually, just I kind of steer away from that. Yeah, that's why.
Navy Mom said she's trying to hang a cement board in the master bath. What a shit show.
All right, that's great to hear. Shit show, huh? All right, good deal. All
Cement
right.
board, that's like Hardy Backer? Are you hanging Hardy Backer?
Hardy board. Is Hardy board? Hardy backer.
Hardy Backer.
Is it?
KK, share the live. Thank you, KK. Hey, guys, I want the rest of you, if you can, please share the live and keep hearting us. I see all the hearts flying in.
Heart
Thank
us up.
you. We appreciate
We're
it.
here to help you.
Dan, what's the formula calculating upfront mortgage insurance when doing an FHA mortgage?
That's a very good question, Dan. Very good question. Here's the thing. Most people don't even know that UFMIP exists. Why? Because the LO doesn't tell them about it. People don't ask about it. When they go, hey, listen, I thought I was borrowing $400,000. Why does it say $406,000? And you're like, well, because of the UFMIP. They're like, oh, okay. And that's it. That's usually how it goes. But UFMIP is upfront mortgage insurance premium. And if you're going with FHA, they mandate it. Now, it's real simple. You take the loan amount and you multiply times 1.75. It does not count against you for debt to income ratio. It doesn't count against you for anything. It's just a little slap that FHA puts on the top of your head, and you have to pay it. There is no way around it. It gets financed into the loan unless we ask for it to be otherwise, and it will be calculated in your APR. So if you wanted a true APR, like you got locked in at 7.5 and you want the APR to be 7.5, you'd have to pay for every fee, including UFMIP, outside of the loan. So that's how it gets calculated. Good question.
Yeah, guys. Mama, thank you for the love. Eric, thank you for the love. We appreciate that. Lynn, thank you for the love. A lot of people hopping in. But we need more questions, guys. But I do want to touch a little bit more about what the person said up top, about the realtor that they spoke to that said, there's going to be a crash next year. So if there's going to be a crash, there's got to be a reason, guys. When you're receiving data, even if it's from us, ask why. Why do you believe these thoughts? Why do you think that this is going to happen? Why do you think this isn't going to happen? Like, for instance, a lot of people hop on here after we give out the data and they say, nope, rates are never coming down. Rates are never coming down. But they don't say why. But when you hear Lee talk about rates coming down, why? Lee, why would you say that rates are coming down?
They're going to come down because the Federal Reserve, this guy right here, Jerome Powell, said they're coming down. And he actually gave us a chart. He's actually revised the chart because it's not happening the way he wanted it to. But this guy largely controls the U.S. economy and then by default, the global economy. Why? Because the dollar is the backbone of the globe. So this guy has a lot of power, But just because he has a lot of power doesn't mean he should overcorrect. I want you to think about it. Let's say you're going down the road and you're doing 100 miles an hour at night, and then you start to sway off the line a little bit. You can overcorrect, and if you overcorrect, you could crash your car. You can go rolling down the side of the road. You had 100% control of that. But if you correct properly, you do a slight correction, and then you're back on track. That's what he's trying to do with the economy. Always, always, always. Even now, And when things don't come in the way we want them to, like CPI came in wrong about 4 times in a row and it finally came in decent
About 30
recently.
seconds.
CPI came in about 3.1% is what we wanted. Then it came in at 3.2%. Then it came in at 3.4%. And CPI was getting crazy there for a while. But in the most recent set of numbers, unemployment came in favorable. Things started, and this guy came out and said, hey, listen, even though it's favorable, I'm not going to drastically change the economy at the moment because it's only one of the factors. Only one of the factors. So the reason I believe that interest rates are coming down is because the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, says they're coming down. That's why. Also, Dan Cosilla says, I'm an active agent on Long Island. There's not going to be a crash. The market is thriving. Dan, in certain areas, the market is doing good, really good. In certain areas, it's just flat. There's very few areas where it's actually descending. And ironically, the places where it's descending are the places where it was thriving a year ago, like Las Vegas, Nevada, Austin, Texas. There's a few spots where it's starting to come down just a little bit. Not horrible, not crash, just correcting a little bit. So that's why all this is happening. Razor Sharp says, is there only government assistance for the first-time home? Is there probably any government assistance for first-time home buyers? You cover Razor Sharp.
So only, I'll stick to that word, only. So that scares me. That scares me a lot, okay, guys? When you're looking for government assistance, whether it's state, city, county, local area, whatever it is, guess what that comes with? It comes with strings. There's always strings attached, okay? Here's one of the strings that are attached when you're using one of those programs. Buying power. So let's say you're regularly approved for $600,000, but you want to use one of these government programs. Guess what you're approved for now? About $480,000. But the answer to the question is no. We have in-house programs sponsored by the bank that don't have the restrictions. They don't have the limitations. There's more than government programs, and there's some that'll help you with down payment, some that'll help you with closing costs, some that'll help you with a lot of different things. Now know this, every single one of them is going to give you a slightly higher interest rate. Every single one of them. So there is strings attached to the bank programs too. But if that's the difference between you owning a home and not owning a home, that could be a good thing for you. It's not up for me to decide. It's up for you guys to decide. So if you're interested in getting a home loan, go to the link up top. Click on Apply for a Home Loan Now. And if you guys want to talk about this, because I'll talk to you guys. Lee will talk to you guys. We'll coach you through your challenges. We'll help you with the programs. We'll give you a better understanding. We don't expect you to understand everything from this live. We expect you to get an idea that we know what we're talking about, that will lead us to the next conversation, that will lead you to getting into your home. Navy Mom Donna said, Happy Father's Day. Chris, sorry I'm late. Thank you for that. That means a lot. That means a lot, Navy Mom. I really appreciate that.
You.
Happy Father's Day, Finance Man.
Appreciate you. Happy Father's Day.
You got it, Razor Sharp. We're here for you. So, guys, when you're hearing people talk about things, okay, that's a good conversation starter. When you're talking about a crash, good conversation starter. When you talk about programs, good conversation starter. When you talk about interest rates, good conversation starter. But don't rely on the data that you're receiving. Go a little deeper, guys, because everyone plays at the surface. Everyone plays at the surface. The news said that rates are high. The news said that rates are low. The news said that there's government programs. The news said we're going to have a crash. The news. All they're giving you is BS to make sure that you keep turning in tomorrow and later on today. So go a little deeper. When you hear someone in person saying things about the markets, ask them why. Go deeper, guys. Extract that information from them. Figure out how much they know. And when you realize that they don't know the answers, they're probably just BSing. They're reading headlines.
Remember, the truth is not afraid of questioning. The lies fear it. The lies fear questioning. So whenever we are talking about the interest rates, I want them to go down, but I don't control them. I'm real clear about that. This guy, Jerome Powell, largely controls them. Not even 100% controls them. The market controls the overall. But he controls the strength and ability for lending. Are you guys licensed in
Just
New
smack
York?
yourself.
Just smack yourself. Yes, we are licensed in New York. I've actually seen some of your comments. Your username is very
Unique.
powerful. It's very powerful. Just smack yourself. I don't even know if that's good or bad. I'm like, how did I not know that? Oh, I just smacked myself. You see that?
Dude, she's
Holy-
powerful.
Dude,
And she's a broker.
yes.
Real estate
we are,
broker.
We are licensed in New York. Not a lot of banks can do business in New York.
Janice.
What's up, Janice? Great to see you. Great to see you here. Do you have any
Jackson if you're
questions?
nasty.
Do you have any questions on buying a house?
Just smack yourself, or Janice. I'll call you Janice. Are you looking for a good loan officer to help support you in the city of New or
Janice.
state of New York, I should say? Are you upstate? You in the city? Like, where are you at in New York? Because we can help you. Actually, I want to build a relationship with you. I want to share some of the things that we do to help our agents continue to grow business long term. Because there are a few things. So, all the real estate agents out there, the ones we refer to, the ones we don't, we want to help you all.
So for a non-military guy, do you know what West Point is?
It's a. I'm gonna guess.
Okay, guess.
West Point is a location for training.
It is a college for military commanders. And they are some of the greatest military commanders ever out there. They graduate
Okay.
from West Point. That's
Okay.
how we know military guys know West Point.
So all
what that
military
means
branches?
is no, not all military branches. I
Which
think it's primarily Army and I think Marines. She'll fill me in on this. But there's also another version in tip of the sword in the Revolutionary War. So yes.
Oh.
And then, like in Colorado Springs, there's the Air Force version in Colorado Springs. So there's the Air Force version. In the Navy has Pensacola, Florida, which is where your officer OCS school comes from, and Seal Beach, San Diego, Coronado. I think it's Seal
Naval
Station. Yeah,
Academy
yeah.
also said Navy Mom.
Yep, Naval Academy also. So there's some really, really, really big buzz points. But
How
what
would
that
Navy
means.
Mom know that?
Because what that means is that military people come and go. So just like we do a lot of loans in Norfolk, Virginia, because that's a very big place where the fleet is. So we do a lot of brand new people coming in, people leaving, stuff like that. So West Point, whenever somebody says West Point to military guys, they're like, ooh, that's high level.
So you do a lot of VA, Janice? You doing a lot of help people with their VA getting in houses? Tony Bow's in the house. This is right back
What's
at
up, Tony Bows? Great to see you.
Army here at West Point, but I cover Orange, Putnam, Ulster, and Dutchess counties.
That's perfect.
So
We
where
are here.
is that in New York? Where, I mean, like, give me is that north, south, east, west? Do you know?
West Point. I wouldn't know. I could
west.
pick it out. I could.
Sounds like
I could
west.
pick out New York on a map. I could pick out New York on a map. So there's these guys are going on TikTok and they're asking these questions like, hey, what's the official language of New Mexico?
New Mexican?
Yeah, and people are like, I don't know.
Green chili?
Green chili.
Is that language? It's my language. Just smack yourself. Mira, 1.5 hour from Manhattan. Okay.
Midland, Texas, in the casa.
Ooh, tag it. Toe hand.
Hot. It's hot,
Tejon? Tejon.
hot. Well, you've got that big Marie. You got that big heat going through there. I have a house in Austin, and I'm not at there right now. I'm in Riverside. But I've been watching the temperature, and it gets ridiculously muggy about this time of day. Muggy. And then I've got friends that go on the lake all the time, so I see their pictures on Instagram and all that stuff, and everybody's all like, it's 100 degrees. We're on the lake. It's not bad on the lake. It's kind of nice. 100
Is
degrees.
it ever bad on the lake?
It's beautiful on
Is
the
it
lake.
ever bad?
Love being on the lake.
Beer in your hand, butt in the sand.
Yeah.
So what are your questions, guys? Load up that chat box. We're going to be spending a little bit more time here. I need you guys to ask the questions so we can answer them. Give me your actual scenarios, guys. Do me a favor, Janice. Give me a challenge that you've had with one of your buyers where you're unable to get them in, and we'll teach you how we would have helped you, okay? But that being said, guess what time it is?
If you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee, at New American Funding by dialing their direct cell phones, the numbers on the screen. Don't do it right now because we're live. This will disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye. So just smack yourself. I got a client in downtown New York, like New York City. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's your purchase price? She says, I want to buy something for 1.2 million. Now my little California brain says 1.2 million. That's a respectable house. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I went through and I qualified and I'm like, okay, you qualify for just that 1.2 million. She's like, yeah, but there's no houses for 1.2 million. They're all 1.8. So I pulled everything up and I'm like, oh my God, you're
They
right.
are 1.8.
It's 1.8 million. Holy smokes. So do we cover Texas? Diana Oliveras, realtor. Yes,
Wonder
my
if she does real
primary
estate.
residence is in Texas. I am out of Austin. I'm funding one right now in Houston. We got a lot of clients that we do in Texas. Texas is a very unique situation. Why? Because they have no income tax. What the hell does that have to do with houses? Because the property tax base is kind of high. In certain areas, like I did one in Buda, Texas, not that long ago, 2.97 property tax base. That's going to change everything. 2.97. I'm doing one right now outside of Houston where the insurance got ridiculously high because a lot of insurance carriers left because of the tornadoes and hurricanes and everything that comes through Houston. They just said, hey, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Like 4 or 5 big carriers left Houston. And then all of a sudden, insurance got ridiculously expensive. So there's certain factors inside of Texas that affect purchase power. So DFW, love DFW, love DFW. Now, Diana, did you know there was a series called Dallas about 20 years ago? It was like the top series for a long time. There's a guy who
40 years ago.
40, yeah, probably 4 years
The
ago.
80s.
Who shot JR? You don't know what that means, do you?
No, I don't. Just
Yeah.
smack yourself. Come in with the knowledge. 1.2 million subject to luxury tax.
Yes.
Yeah, New York,
Yes.
New York and California are not shy about taxes.
Yeah.
Not shy about taxes at all. They'll tax you on everything and then they'll increase it. As a matter of fact, here in California, our governor had a fantastic idea. He said, I want all vehicles to be electric by 2035. 2035. So fantastic that so many people hopped on that bandwagon, bought electric vehicles. Guess what's down? The gas tax. The gas tax is down. So now I know what they're going to do. They're going to tax electricity now. They're going to put an extra tax on you Tesla drivers here in California. So just smack yourself, or Janice I should be calling you. Yeah, not stranger to taxes. Your state and my state are beautiful for doing that.
It's just so stupid, and they're so stupid. The politicians that get in are so, and they have good hearts, I think. But when you dig in, most of the time they're all corrupt. They're all corrupt one way or another. If you dig in deep enough, you'll find the corruption. I hate to say it, but it just happens to people. Even if they go in with the best of intentions, they go to jail. Like a lot of them go to jail. A lot of them, unless you're really well connected. But that's happening, and it's hard to buy a house in California. Like I'll give you for instance, California is screwing over their constituents, voters, people. Here's how. Let's just say that you had an extra $2 billion that you wanted to invest. And you're in California. You're like, hey, we got extra $2 billion. Let's invest it somewhere. All right, where are you going to invest it? Real estate. Well, if we go out and we say we're buying real estate, well then, yeah, they're going to say that we're misusing, state funds. Well, why don't we just do it right in front of them so that we're investing, but they don't know it? How do you do that? You'd have to have stupid people in order to do that. Oh, it's easy. Just rebrand it. We tell them we're going to help you. That's how we tell them. That's how politicians talk. We're going to help you. Well, how are we going to help? Well, let's just call it a dream. Dream for all of them. We'll call it Dream for All. And here's what we'll do. We'll take a house that's $500,000 and we'll invest $100,000 with them. $100,000, yeah. And we now own the real estate with them. We own it with them. Now we're a state. We don't have a 100-year lifespan. We can go forever. So we now have a lien on that property for $100,000, and we're going to share in their appreciation. What happens if they don't pay us back? We're the state of California. We'll lien the property. We'll get it back. We want the appreciation. So we'll take that $2 billion that we have, and we'll tell them we're helping them out. We'll tell them we're helping them out. They'll believe it. We'll call it a down payment assistance program. we're gonna tell them we're helping them out. But we want the money back. We're first out. We get the first out ability, and we want shared appreciation. So guess what? We invested at $2 billion right in front of the people. We told them it's a program for them to help them out, and we're making money, and we own California. That's literally going on like right now. And there are people lining up out the door. There are loan officers going, hey, you don't understand. This is the greatest 20% program ever. If you actually read the guidelines, when I read the guidelines, I'm like, you're shitting me, right? You're shitting me. These guys get equity appreciation. They get first outright, and it costs money to do it. You're kidding me. But there's loan officers running around going, hey, I'm an official Cal Haffa approved lender. For the record, so am I. We can do it. But I think it's a great program? It's a great program for the state of California. It's amazing. Super genius. It's genius for the state of California.
Whose money are they using for this too?
Oh, they're using your money.
Oh,
Dude,
your money.
Yeah, they're using your money. They're investing your money. They're telling you that they're helping you. Oh, by the way, you got to pay a fee. Slap. Oh, by the way, we get equity appreciation. Slap. Oh, by the way, we get first outright. Slap. Oh, they're slapping the shit out of you. But because they called it a down payment assistance program, oh my God, it's crazy.
Yep.
Anyway.
Madison, can you guys work with people in Pennsylvania? Love Pennsylvania. Spent a couple of weeks there a few months back. And the answer is yes, guys. We help people in all 50 states. Every single one of them in the union. So if you're watching this and you want to get a home loan, there's two ways to get a hold of us. One is the phone number. It's in the bio. Two is a link to apply for a home loan now. It is also in the bio. Navy Mom, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Oh, God. That's, Ronald Reagan said that. He says I think it was the 8 scariest words that you can get is, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. Yeah. The government is not there to help. And here's the scary part. You get good-looking guys like Gavin Newsom will come in with like $20 worth of hair product on each side of their hair every day. And they're like, hey, got that big old $1 trillion smile.
Funded by the state of California.
Funded by the state of California. And they're like, I'm here. You know what my job is? My job is to help the people do what the people want to be done. And I'm going to do that because that's what the people demand. Yay! What the hell does that mean? It don't mean shit. You know what it means? For people that are smart, that can peel back these things, they're screwing you over. A lot. Not a little bit. A lot. How much? A lot. Let me tell you. So they're like, hey, everybody in the state of California, you should all have electric vehicles. We want everybody to go electric vehicle. For those of us in California, there's hey guys, it's too hot. The state of California is asking you to turn your thermostat up so you don't tax the electric grid. Oh yeah, plug in your Tesla, but don't plug it in until it cools down. That's like literally happening. Hilarious. Anyway,
control. Are they trying to go for more control?
Maybe more control.
Tell you when you can be cool and when you can drive? That's strange.
The hard part is if you're dealing with smart people who can decipher this stuff, that's when you have a problem. But it's the dumb people who stand in line and go, Newsom loves us. Biden loves us. He's for the people. Why? Because he said so. Shut up.
Because his aunt told him and he told you.
Yeah.
Janice, and the result, that would be eventual increase of inventory in the default servicing REO market. I love seeing the raw honesty. California should just smack itself.
Yeah, sure. It does, man. California smacks itself so much. It's so, and again, this is me talking from here. Asian Jim, what's up, Asian Jim? Hey, I have a house in California. I have a house in Texas. Both extremes. I pay taxes in California. I pay taxes in Texas. Here's the reality of it. Okay, California just passed this law, insane law. They said, hey, everybody in California should make $20 an hour. All fast food workers. Yeah, you know that 17-year-old kid who doesn't even know, hasn't graduated high school yet? She should make $20 an hour. And we're going to mandate, because those mean old businesses, they should be paying those kids $20 an hour. They should be paying them $20. They got it passed, like literally passed. And then, shocker, all kinds of fast food businesses said, hey, you know what? Peace out. We're done.
Rubio's is gone.
Peace out. Rubio's had like like 120 locations down to 2. I think it's 2, right?
Gone.
2. They're gone. They're gone. You know, and then all of a sudden now,
Baja Fresh is gone.
gone. Baja Fresh. Oh my God, Rubio's. And they're like, well, how dare you leave? No, it's just logic. How can you guys be so stupid? But the lower level people are like, hey, they deserve to pay us. They should pay us, those mean old business people. Like, business is not, it's pretty mathematical. Hey, I need to make a product that attracts the customer, then I have to be able to pay the people in the process. But if you make me pay too much, can't do it here, they pack up and they go somewhere else all the time. Elon Musk, guess where he lives? Austin, Texas. Guess where he used to live? California. Who else? Joe Rogan, guess where he lives? Austin,
that?
Texas.
What was that thing?
Joe Rogan?
No, just smack yourself sitting something. What is that? It was on your head.
Oh, I don't know, probably a hat. Just smack yourself, give me something cool. Asian Jim says, Happy Monday. So this is happening over and over and over again. It's just free market, and California's kind of killing itself.
Connor Amato, what are the FHA streamlined rates right now? Connor, you should not be doing a streamline right now. Now is not the time to do a streamline.
What is a streamline, Chris?
A streamline is basically taking you from whatever your rate was down to whatever the rates are now. But you can't just do that. You have to prove that the savings is there, and there has to be enough in order to make it happen. So,
Yeah.
Connor, by asking that question, I go, what's this person's rate that would be inquiring about a streamline right now? They'd have to be in like the 12s.
Nah, probably 8.25. 8.25. You get down to a 7.25. It's a case, maybe.
Yeah, but
That's smart. It's not a smart
half
case.
a point? That's not
Yeah,
enough.
it's not. Maybe Connor's not asking for him. He's probably asking
He is
for
asking
somebody
for him. He's
else.
saying he's at a 7.75.
Oh, 7.75. Connor, do you want the honest answers? Here's the honest answers. You're not going to like them. Maybe you will. Loan officers are going to be pissed when I tell you this. Here's why. Because the chairman of the Federal Reserve, his name is Jerome Powell. I usually have a picture readily available, but I don't have it right now. Anyway, chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Probably close to your heart where you keep him.
There he is. Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, he puts out what he believes the rates are going to be. And here's what he believes the rates are going to be. Right now, all 12 members of the FOMC, which is the Fair Open Markets Committee, I usually have a picture, but I'm not ready. Here they are. Boom. All 12 members of the FOMC have to vote on what they think the rates are. And right now, it's 5.25 and 5.5. So that's what that's what they are. Over the next 2.5 to 3 years. So this is 24, where we're at right now. This is 25, 26, and then into 27. By the time we hit 27, they all hit a consensus again, because these are all 12 members voting, and they're saying, no, we need to bring them up, we need to keep them down. But when we get to the end of 26, we're getting a 27, they come to a consensus at about 2.5%. Now, remember, we're at 5.5 right now. Over the next 3 years, 2.5. So 3% drop, or in loan officer terms, 300 basis points. 300 basis points. So, when should you refinance? Down here. You should refinance when we're at the bottom of the cycle. That's when you refinance. Now, if you have a loan officer who's trying to make a living, he's going to want you to refinance right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here. Why? Because every time you refinance, that loan officer makes between $5,000 and $15,000 in commission. What? That's a whole different conversation. But that loan officer makes between $5,000 and $15,000 in commission. So he does want you to refinance at the bottom, but he wants you to refinance here, 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 and here. 5 times till you get to the bottom. Why? Because he can make between $50,000 and $250,000 off of you. What? And he can literally tell you the truth every single time without lying to you. Because he can say, hey, listen, Connor, you're at 7.25, at 6.25. Well, this refinance makes sense. And it does. It will make sense. 100 basis point spread, it'll make sense. But you're also going to make sense at 5.25 and at 4.25. And he's going to get a lot of refinances in you. So if you actually understand the cycles, Connor, the right time to do it is when we're at the bottom of the cycle. Then buy down the rate as deep as you can.
I kind of understand where he's coming from, though, because he says he's renting out his primary at the end of this year, so he'll refinance it before then and rent it out. He's trying to cash flow. So if he's trying to cash flow like faster, that may be a good idea for him to refinance down.
Okay. All right.
Maybe. And that's just a
Yeah.
strategic move so that you're not upside down on your mortgage payment.
Yeah.
Okay, so that could be a good thing. But if you refinance at the end of this year, Connor,
Yeah.
do wait the 2 years until we're at the bottom to do it again.
Connor, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but here's why. Because FHA is a primary residence, and you're going to have to prove it's your primary residence. If you're going to rent it out, it's no longer your primary residence. Now, you can have lived in it 1 year, that's the FHA guideline, and then move out and keep the FHA loan. You can do that. Now, you just gave me the real case why you might want to do an FHA streamline prior to the end of the cycle.
It's not
Because
gonna be a
once you
streamline.
move out, probably won't be a streamline because a streamline has to meet, it's called a net tangible value test. Net tangible value says, after I pay for the refinance and the buying down of the points, does this loan make sense within, I think it's 28 months. Within 28 months, do I break even? And very rare with that you'll make that. Very rare. Very rare. Don Kellick says it's over, fellas. It's over.
Do elaborate.
Dude, Don.
Don needs to elaborate.
Tell me, Don.
Before you start getting all huffy
Yeah.
puffy on Don, I need to know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Connor, so I'll just wait as long as possible prior to renting it out to streamline. Then I'll wait 2 years. You just need to wait 1, man.
Connor, here's the problem. If you rent it out and you try and do a streamline, you can't anymore because FHA is a primary residence loan. When they say, hey, is this your primary residence? You're going to go, no, I have it rented out. They're going to go, nope, can't do it. Can't do a streamline. Why? Because you don't live in it anymore. Not primary residence. Well, don't try and try it. Don't try and lie to them because they're going to go.
He's baiting you. So streamline and rent it out.
Yeah, because they catch you in weird ways. They catch you in such weird ways. Because you're like, hey, yeah, this is my primary residence. All right, cool. We need to see your homeowner's policy. All right, cool. You send it in. How come you have a renter's policy? Just in case I want to rent it in the future? No, that's not why. They catch you in weird ways. They're like, hey, can I see your bank statement? Oh, how come your bank statement goes to another residence? Oh, when I put that into Google, it says you own that too. There's lots of ways they catch you. Lots of ways.
Celso Luna in the house. How you doing, man?
What's up, Celso Luna?
Hope that house is treating you well. You got yourself a good deal on that one. Not a good deal. That's a great investment. You made yourself some cash money on that.
Cash money.
I happen to know for a fact. Connor, is it okay to streamline then rent it out after, or should I wait a little bit after I streamline to rent it out?
That's
12
a
months.
tough question. Is
Well,
it
it's
12
12
months from the
months.
streamline?
It's 12
months from the streamline? or
Streamline, you're saying, hey, I'm primary residence.
Okay.
I'm primary residence. This is my house. I live here. Still, you restarted that calendar. So 1 year, 1
Yeah.
year, 1 year. So after you streamline,
Yeah.
1 year.
And
But don't streamline, man. Once the rates are at the bottom, you're going to do a
Fannie Mae,
refinance.
Freddie Mac, yeah.
Take yourself out
Fannie
of
Mae,
the
Freddie Mac,
FHA, put yourself into a conventional, and then redo an FHA's 100 miles away
Yep.
or more. Damn. See, Connor, you're always coming up with these strategies that aren't working today. But I do like that you're filling up the chat box and giving us
I
something to do
appreciate
today.
you, Connor. We do appreciate you very much, very much.
The rest of you, fill up that chat box. Give us your scenarios. I used to say, hey, ask us questions about interest rates and down payments and, different ideas. But give us your actual scenario. I do know that there's people in here right now that have had challenges, whether it be in a client or for themselves when they were buying a house. So let me know those challenges. We will answer them right here live and call you up. What else
Can
you got, Lee?
fill up the chat? Look at he's filling up the chat one word at a time.
Oh, Connor. Bless your heart.
Connor,
Bless
Connor,
your heart.
Connor, bless your heart.
Box.
Bless your heart.
Chat
Yeah, cool.
box.
Chat box. We're here for you.
So what else is going on in real estate?
It's a very, very, very not good time to be in real estate. It's a very not good time. You know why? Because the experts are saying that they're going to revise the interest rate reductions from 3 times this year to 1 time or 2 times, depending on.
How does that data get out? Where does that come from?
I don't quite know because this guy is very cautious about what he says. He's very aware that he can move markets with just saying a few words. And he tries to stay away from moving the markets. But it's not very good for anything right now. For real estate, if you're in the real estate market, not great. For some reason, the stock market is screaming. I still don't understand that. The unemployment is down a little bit, but according to our president, everything is wonderful. The economy is great. unbelievably awesome. And he needs a bowl of soup and a nap. That's it.
And he
That's
started
what's
walking
going on.
that way for some reason. I don't know why he took off.
What's going on that way?
He just kept walking. That lady went and grabbed him and brought him back. Have you guys been seeing what's going on in the news lately, guys?
Tell me what you.
Have you been seeing what's going on with T-Money? Have you been seeing what's going on with Biden? Have you been seeing what's going on with Hunter Biden? Like, it seems like, okay, here's what it seems like. So T-Money gets in trouble and he's convicted, right? Convicted?
Yep.
Is that the word? Okay.
Yep.
Hunter Biden gets in trouble and he's convicted. Okay?
Convicts.
So it makes it seem like it's a balanced system. See, we don't just go after Republicans, we go after Democrats too, and we convict them. But what's going to end up happening,
Reality show, put them both in the same cell.
Biden gets convicted, and then his dad comes in and does what?
He's not gonna pardon him. According to him, he's not gonna pardon him.
Do you think he's not?
I think.
I mean,
if
do
he did,
you think he's not?
Not until his last day at office.
So he's not going to all the way up until the end.
Yep.
So what if he gets reelected?
Last day in office.
So he's going to serve 4
Well,
years?
because he can't do it right now because...
Yeah, it'll show the optics.
Yeah, it'll show the optics. He can't do it right now. And if you follow politics, and I follow politics, Clinton pardoned some very ugly people in his last few hours in the office. They're like, all these pardons waiting. And remember, he's got president power until he doesn't. So he's like, okay, I'm thinking about it. We're not going to comment. We're not going to comment. Last day in office, he's like, pardon. That's what they do. That's what they all do. It's horrible. It's how our system works.
But it's only on federal, right? You can't, not on state. Is that correct?
I'm not
So if
entirely
he-
sure on that. I think.
Well, there's one that's in front of the Supreme Court right now that says that presidents have presidential immunity. And if he does get presidential immunity, does that mean the felony goes away? I don't know. And that's a very difficult situation because if we elect somebody as president of the United States and he drops a bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and then all of a sudden the next administration doesn't like what he did, this guy can go to jail forever. But he was doing what he felt was right in the moment. So there's this weird line that says, hey, you have that kind of power because we gave you that kind of power because you got to do the unspeakable things that we can't do. When I see the men of war who have had to do, dude, nobody wants to go in and do those unspeakable things. They got tasked with it and they have one choice, either do this or die. So I don't judge those guys who did what they had to do, man. That's the fog of war, and that same thing exists in presidential. Like if, even though I'm not a big fan of Sleepy Joe, if he had to go do something, I don't judge him because that's a very difficult spot. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he's the right guy. But I also don't think that if he made a decision that affected our country, the country has to back him up. Oh my God.
Mia loves, she's like, let's change the
Yes, I
conversation.
know, right?
Let's change it. I got Ford hard credit check. Is that bad? We tried to check to buy a home. Okay, so you got Ford hard inquiries, okay? Ford hard. Here's how it works. Now, it's going to read a little different, but we use a credit agency. I forget the name of it at the moment. And then we are New American Funding. And then when we do a pool, it could show 3 in that one. But together, it's one hard pool. So it depends on how you look at it, Mia Love. So that's one thing. The other thing is, what's your history? What do you normally do? So how do you normally manage your credit? Because there's two people. There's the people that pull their credit every now and again when they're about to do something, and they usually have good credit. And there's the person that pulls their credit all the time to try to save 20% at Kohl's, 20% at Home Depot, goes to try to buy a car, then tries to get a credit card and was denied, and another credit card and was denied, and another credit card and was denied, and the next thing you know, they have 20 credit pulls because that's how they manage their credit. So depending on how you manage your credit with the history going backwards is going to determine what your score is moving forward. So based on what you've told me, and based on knowing who I think you are, Mia Love, because you hop in here daily, I don't think you're going to have any challenges. But how's your credit? What's your credit score?
We like you, Mia Love. We like you. We appreciate you showing up. We want you to keep showing up. You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in him.
You got a friend in me.
So that means he has a friend.
That's
And
from
you have a
Monsters
friend.
Inc., man. That's from Monsters Inc. You don't know anything.
Okay, I've
You
never
don't
seen
know
it.
anything about Monsters
Is
Inc.
that the one with the dinosaurs that got out and they took over the island?
No, I don't
No.
think so. No.
Okay, I don't
No.
know. You're right. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
Ready to go, man?
Sure. Hey, you know what? We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you showing up. We're trying to help you get a house in 2024. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We've been Chris and Lee. We are out.